The most important thing about music and guitar playing, I want to just say it first, is tuning. I didn't even tune up, man. What's up with that? Tune your guitar, man. All right, that's what Tommy Emmanuel told me once. You know what separates the men from the boys, or the women from the ladies, or the girl, whatever the non-sexist version is. Tuning. He's very right about that. The guitar is a very imperfect instrument. All right, so let's try. Okay, but the AT300, that was a guitar. After we had this original prototype was built in 1994, like I said. 5 years later, they decided to release a limited edition. Got a party going on. Limited edition in 1999, but they didn't want to really keep it in production, you know. So they asked if I would come up with a different idea, and they had a guitar called the SA that they were putting out. So we did some modifications to that. Put my neck profile on a rosewood fingerboard and a mahogany body. So very different sound, but comfortable feel because it was the same neck profile. And that's the guitar I used mainly on the Resolution record. Yeah, and I used it a lot at that time, but I kept coming back to this guitar because it's just more comfortable for me. It's just like the maple is very intimate. It's the only way that I can put it. I really love the feel of the finger on the fret, you know. But I still use the AT300. It's a beautiful guitar, and it has a wonderful sound to it. You know, I dig it. So maybe someday we'll dig that one back out and re-release that one. Okay, let's see. Wishing Well. That's a heavy. Creep by Radiohead. One of the greatest sounds ever recorded. Cause I'm a creep. Oh man, that's so great. With some slapback go. So it's just really the dampening of the strings here. And just beating the stuff out of the guitar.
So you don't mute it with the right hand, but the left mostly, right? So
no, the left is. I'm getting a little bit of the underside of my thumb. It's a long time ago. I haven't played that since we recorded. Well, I love noise. Thank you. It's Hendrix and Stevie Ray and the players that were pretty aggressive, you know. If you hear me playing acoustically, I'm hitting pretty hard quite a bit, you know what I'm saying? It's learning how to mute with all your available flesh, basically. Because like for that note there, the underside of my index finger is taking care of the E and the B string. And then my palm comes down and takes care of the E and the A and the D. Sometimes I want the noise. To create tension with the noise. Sometimes it's a low note. Open strings. I could have played, but I'm grabbing the strings underneath. And add a really lovely, you know, dissonance and, you know, it's the tension and release thing. That's it. I never had that question. That's cool, man. Noise, woo! And then sometimes I don't even mean to. It's just bad technique, and I get it. That's all right. That's it. It's called energy and live, and yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect. Just you have to mean it. Yeah. You know, musical phrases are like we speak. We have speech pattern and words that we use, and it's kind of like, you know, I sure love coffee. I might say that, you know, a lot. But when I'm here speaking to you, I might say it slightly differently, you know. And so, even though you may be bored with what you're doing, it's possible to use just the set of phrases you have and just try to play them in slightly different ways. Is one line of thinking, but one such an easy little thing to do is just to learn a very small snippet of a melody or something. Just there's anything that you might not have played, right, Shmali?
Yeah.
Correct? Just say yeah.
Ja.
Are you guys drinking beer over there? Is that what I'm hearing?
Nein, Uso.
You wouldn't. Oh, not Uzo. No, not Uzo. Well, our friend Jen had a really good question about phrasing it. So we're trying to figure out how to get out of ruts. And one of the things that I love to do, in fact, I did it today, is just if you learn a little bit of a melody or even a little bit of a song that maybe you've always loved but have never played before, that can be a beautiful way to just find something slightly different. Or it could be a bit of a solo from one of your favorite players. But today I was okay. Who's seen the Queen movie? Has anybody seen the Bohemian Rhapsody movie?
Yeah.
Not yet. Okay, maybe it's not out here in Germany yet. Any Queen fans?
Yes.
All right, good. I hope so. I mean, I've always loved Queen, and I had a night at the opera when I was a kid. So I saw the Queen movie back in the U.S. It just came out November 2nd, and I went and bring your tissue when you see it because it's a very emotional movie, right? But they really inspired me to go back and listen to Queen, right? And just really appreciate. It's just so amazing the amount of work that these guys did. All the harmonies and how they would layer things, and then Brian May's guitar work, and the songwriting. Okay, the songwriting, which becomes really important for phrasing. When you're really learning musical phrases, well, you might start musically phrasing. So today I learned a bit of a song. Well, what's it called? You Take My Breath Away. I'm not going to try to sing Freddie Mercury's melody, but first it's just a beautiful little piano line where it goes. So I just like the piano line, so let me just learn that. And it's very simple, just C minor, D half diminished, but how he's arpeggiating. Also trying to figure out how to sustain it like a piano. But then the melody comes in. Okay, that's nice. I've played that melody a million times, but hearing Freddie's interpretation. But check out this next. That melts my heart. It's such a simple phrase, but classical. So now you've learned some musical phrases, but you've also learned a really nice voice leading in the chord change. And that's the kind of stuff I do a lot. In fact, I recognized something when I was listening to Queen. I wrote a song for my father who passed away about a year and a half ago. And I wrote a song for him as he was slowly slipping away with Alzheimer's. And I decided to write a song for him. So each time I was with him, I'd play the song that I wrote for him. And every time he would instantly recognize the song, he knew it was his song, right? But there's a part in it that I totally trace back to one of the Queen songs I listened to today. I said, oh, when the whole song's in major, then it goes to this nice minor section in the same root. And maybe it came from that, maybe it came from something else. But I went, man, that's so Queen-esque, and I was like, wow, okay, that's cool. But I'll play it for you. It's a song for my dad, right? Maybe you can picture Brian May singing it. I mean, Freddie Mercury singing it and Brian May playing some cool harmonies. keep trying. So once I realized Brian May used the 1947 sixpence, I went on eBay, found some, and so when I get home to America, I'm going to have the proper Brian May pick. I'm pretty excited about that. But man, what a uniquely beautiful player Brian is, and the sound that he got from that homemade guitar and the old amp, the old box amp. So that's the whole journey for me, and I think for all of us, is just finding these little bits of things that we like, either a piece of music or a certain lick or solo from a player. David Bowie summed it up best, where he called himself a collector, and I think that's what we all are. We're all we all have our heroes as far as the playing or the tone, but all the songs that mean something to us, or the pieces of guitar playing that we might love, and we kind of collect it all, and it comes out as us eventually. The more you play, the more you kind of absorb these things. When you think about Stevie Ray Vaughan and how he just took these bits from his favorite blues guys and Hendrix. When you think about it's like horn players in jazz, like trumpet, saxophone, they have to breathe. And so two things are happening. If you're singing, you're hearing the melody, right? So you have to kind of connect your ear and your musical mind instead of just your finger patterns, because nobody sings. I don't think they do anyway. No. So it might help for some more, and just play a lot. You're already doing this. I'm sure your phrasing is awesome. But it's never ending. It's always, whatever level I think any player gets to, they're still beginning. There's still so many great things to be discovered. And in the future and from before. I'm just now studying Django for the first time. Django's been waiting for me all these years. He goes, "Then you're ready. I'll be here." I'm better than you. I've only got 2 fingers. And it's just wonderful music to study. It's all, and I tend to go backwards. Everybody's asking me, "Well, who's your current favorite players?" Well, there's a lot of great players, but I'm still figuring out stuff from the 50s and 60s, So it's a never-ending journey. And Daniel and I have been driving around, and he's got a wonderful playlist, lots of great guitar players and stuff. I think he recognizes that I really resonate more when I hear a good pop song, We had some Snow Patrol today and some different stuff. And the Passenger, I like the Passenger tunes. They're great, man. I just want to hear a good melody. And shred occasionally. But anyway, thanks for the question. Sorry for the rambling answer. Together. So you're asking if I have the melody, do I know what chords already? And it can work different ways. And it really comes from having played a little bit of jazz, really. Because it's common in the jazz world. So I had a decent amount of experience in that world, but once you add distortion, things become a little complex. You can't play. But when I started doing, it was around the time I did the Resolution record, where I decided to do every song with just one guitar performance, right? So then I had to start really figuring out how to. Song Gone, I had the melody really didn't know what the chords were called. I did it by sound, but now I know it's okay. It's A half diminished to D7 to G minor. But in the beginning, it was just finding the sounds. And that's kind of a more organic way of doing it. I call that the aurolectual versus intellectual. You know, aurolectual is just letting your ear guide you. Intellectually, you can think about these things. If you know music theory, you know what works and what's right or what's not right, parenthetically. But it's really the ear, it's what you want to hear. That's what is hopefully driving you. Right? I use the same technique on... self-contained when it's right, you know. On the most recent record, I wrote a tune called That Day Came, incorporating that idea. It sounds a bit classical at the beginning. So I was thinking too much, but it's F sharp, it's a C sharp, it's an F major, it's a common tone. Anyway, so that's some of the type of things, but I tend to write them together these days. I like writing melody and chord together, like the song. And they came together. So I guess I'm thinking more like a piano player. You know, they've got the left hand and the right hand. We did the melody here, and yeah. Thing about Brian May is that he plays with a coin. Have you ever tried it? It's awesome. He uses a 1947 King George sixpence, but I was in Poland and this is the only one I could find. The important thing is that it has a serrated edge. So, here's one for Brian. Keep trying. So once I realized Brian May used the 1947 sixpence, I went on eBay, found some, and so when I get home to America, I'm going to have the proper Brian May pick. I'm pretty excited about that. But man, what a uniquely beautiful player Brian is, and the sound that he got from that homemade guitar and the old amp, the old box amp. So you know, that's the whole journey for me, and I think for all of us, is just finding these little bits of things that we like, either a piece of music or a certain lick or solo from a player. David Bowie summed it up best when he called himself a collector. And I think that's what we all are. We're all kind of, we all have our heroes as far as, you know, the playing or the tone, but all the songs that mean something to us, or the pieces of guitar playing that we might love. And we kind of collect it all, and it comes out as us eventually. The more you play, and the more you kind of absorb these things. We think about Stevie Ray Vaughan and how, you know, he just took these bits from his favorite blues guys and Hendrix. You know, we think about Hendrix combined with Albert King. They kind of have Stevie Ray in a way, but it came out so uniquely him. You know, the way he put it all together. So that's just the never-ending path, right? That's all I'm doing. That's for sure.